Economic outlook for the USA in 2025. The United States has endured a whirlwind of economic ups and downs in recent years. From the devastating effects of the global pandemic to a robust recovery, we are now poised on the brink of a new economic phase in 2025. But what does the future hold? Will we continue to grow, face new challenges, or find ourselves adjusting to a new reality? Let's take a deep dive into the economic trends, predictions, and shifts that could shape America in 2025. Number 1. U.S. GDP growth and economic expansion. The U.S. economy has shown remarkable resilience in recent years, recovering from the shocks of the pandemic. The question that now stands before us as we enter 2025 is, will this recovery continue or will we face a slowdown? Based on current trends, the U.S. GDP is projected to grow at a steady but moderate pace. Growth rates are expected to be in the range of 2% to 3%, signaling a return to normalcy after the high volatility of the pandemic years. While this rate of growth may seem underwhelming compared to previous decades, it's important to recognize that stability after such economic disruptions is a victory in itself. The core of this growth will be driven by consumer spending, innovation in technology, and continued strength in industries like healthcare and finance. 2. Inflation, a persistent challenge. Inflation remains one of the most persistent concerns for U.S. consumers as we head into 2025. After hitting a 40-year high in the wake of the pandemic, inflation is expected to remain elevated, hovering around 4% to 5% throughout 2025. While this is a slight decrease from the spikes seen in previous years, it is still significantly higher than the Federal Reserve's target rate of around 2%. For the average consumer, this means that everyday goods, everything from groceries to gas, will still cost more than before. Although inflation is predicted to ease somewhat, the lingering effects will continue to pressure household budgets. Rent, food, and fuel prices may still feel relatively high, and many Americans will have to find ways to adjust their spending habits to cope with these elevated costs. The Federal Reserve's monetary policy will continue to play a crucial role in the battle against inflation. High interest rates are expected to persist, which will impact everything from mortgages to car loans. Consumers will need to navigate these changes carefully, ensuring they can manage their finances amid rising costs and interest rates. Number 3. Employment trends. Evolving job market. The U.S. job market has been undergoing a dramatic transformation in recent years. Remote work, gig economy jobs, and automation have reshaped the landscape of employment in ways that were once unimaginable. By 2025, these shifts are expected to continue, but there will be new developments that impact both job seekers and employers. Technology, healthcare, and green energy are the industries that will experience the most significant growth. With the rise of automation, particularly in manufacturing, retail, and customer service sectors, the demand for skilled workers in fields like software development, data science, and renewable energy will skyrocket. However, the impact of automation means that some job sectors will face significant contraction. Jobs that involve repetitive manual labor are at high risk of being replaced by machines and artificial intelligence. On the flip side, the gig economy will continue to expand. Freelancing, contracting, and part-time work are becoming more popular, especially in industries like transportation, logistics, and creative fields. The flexibility offered by gig jobs is increasingly attractive to younger generations who value work-life balance and autonomy. For workers, the key to thriving in this shifting job market will be adaptability. Upskilling and lifelong learning will be essential for staying competitive. Those who invest in developing new skills and embracing technological advancements will be best positioned to thrive. Number 4. Housing market, stabilization and challenges. The housing market in 2025 will likely be in a state of stabilization after the extreme volatility of the pandemic years. In 2020 and 2021, we saw unprecedented demand for homes, which led to soaring prices across the country. But by 2025, the market is expected to cool off. Home price growth is projected to stabilize at a more modest pace of around 3% to 4%. However, while home prices won't be seeing the same steep climbs as before, there are still challenges on the horizon. Mortgage rates are likely to remain elevated due to the Federal Reserve's continued efforts to combat inflation. This means that while home prices may not increase dramatically, monthly mortgage payments will still be relatively high, making it more difficult for potential buyers to afford homes. For potential home buyers, 2025 presents a more balanced market. There will likely be fewer bidding wars than we saw in the previous few years, but competition will still be fierce in desirable locations. Sellers may also need to adjust their expectations, as homes may not sell as quickly or at as high a price as in the past. For renters, the high cost of housing could continue to be an issue, especially in major metropolitan areas. Rising rent prices are expected to persist, making homeownership less accessible for many Americans. 5. Global influences on the U.S. economy. As we move into 2025, it's important to recognize that the U.S. economy does not operate in a vacuum. Global trade, geopolitics, and international policies will continue to play a pivotal role in shaping the economic landscape. Tensions with major trade partners like China and the ongoing disruptions in the global supply chain will likely have lasting effects. The international supply chain crisis that began during the pandemic is expected to ease gradually, but certain industries, particularly those reliant on global manufacturing, will still feel the strain. China's economic policies and trade practices will continue to influence U.S. companies, particularly in sectors like technology, manufacturing, and agriculture. Geopolitical tensions, particularly in Eastern Europe and the Asia-Pacific region, will also have an impact on U.S. businesses. Fluctuations in oil prices, disruptions in trade routes, and changes in foreign investment patterns will shape the U.S. economic outlook for 2025 and beyond. 6. The rise of sustainable investing and green technologies. As climate change and environmental concerns become more pressing, sustainable investing and green technologies will continue to gain momentum in 2025. The shift toward renewable energy sources, electric vehicles, and environmentally friendly technologies is expected to accelerate as both governments and consumers demand more sustainable solutions. The green energy revolution will be one of the biggest drivers of growth in the coming years. Companies in the solar, wind, and electric vehicle sectors are poised to see exponential growth as new technologies emerge and governments push for stricter environmental regulations. This presents exciting opportunities for investors, as green energy stocks and funds are projected to perform well. Environmental, social, and governance (ESG) investing will continue to be a key focus for many institutional and retail investors. Companies that prioritize sustainability, ethical practices, and corporate responsibility are likely to outperform in the long run, as consumers and investors become more conscious of the environmental impact of their choices. 7. Changing consumer behavior. The digital shift. The digital transformation of consumer behavior is another trend to watch in 2025. With the continued rise of e-commerce, mobile payments, and AI-driven shopping experiences, consumers will have more options and greater convenience than ever before. Online shopping will continue to dominate, especially in categories like fashion, electronics, and groceries. Mobile payment options such as Apple Pay, Google Wallet, and other digital wallets are expected to become even more popular in 2025, making cash transactions increasingly obsolete. Retailers will continue to leverage AI and machine learning to offer personalized shopping experiences, creating targeted ads and recommendations based on consumers' shopping behaviors. Subscription models will also continue to thrive, particularly in industries like entertainment, food delivery, and fitness. Streaming services, subscription boxes, and software-as-a-service (SaaS) companies are all projected to see increased demand as consumers seek convenience and personalized content. Conclusion: navigating the economic landscape of 2025. The U.S. economy in 2025 will be a year of transformation and adjustment. With steady growth in some areas and challenges in others, it's important for consumers, investors, and workers alike to stay informed and adaptable. While inflation, housing affordability, and global uncertainties pose significant hurdles, there are also exciting opportunities in sectors like green energy, technology, and sustainable investing. In 2025, the key to success will be embracing change, staying flexible, and making informed decisions based on the evolving economic landscape. Whether it's adjusting,